If you're tired of hearing the right is crazy when it's the left gunning people down. If you've grown weary of hearing white folks are bad and they're abusing the blacks and browns. If you're tired of listening to the media lies, it's time to wake up, patriot, and open others' eyes. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hopped up on crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. If it makes you mad, they block to stop the steal, where Republicans are the majority, but still they fail. Then might I suggest you get off your duff and put an end to this leftist stuff. Cause they're only winning when we have no voice. It's time to rise up and make some noise. We need an FBI that can be trusted. It's time the whole Obama crowd all gets busted. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hopped up on crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. Yeah, with George and Trixie, Sean and Mark on Wake Up Patriots, or Patriots After Dark. While you're listening there, you will have some fun, but you'll also learn how to get it done. Just read the comments, meet some friends, cause we've got a battle going on. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hopped up on crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. Don't just stand there and watch the nation tumble. Go to Wake Up Patriots, it's there on Rumble, and maybe toss some change in the cup. And don't forget to give a big thumbs
up for Wake Up Patriots.
So wake up, patriots, and get her done. Do it for your daughter, do it for your son. It's for our kids, we must turn things back. It's time for action and not just smack. Oh! It's time for action and not.
Hello, it's Monday morning. Oh, they're not big. It was funny. Oh, I was going to put George up there, but he stepped away for a second. So hope everybody had a good weekend. And I know I did. It was nice and quiet. I was a couch potato all weekend and tried to watch baseball, but they had it blacked out in my area, the White Sox Tigers game, and Mark got to go. So I was jealous about that. But that's enough of what I did. It wasn't really super interesting, but it was relaxing though. So let's do a prayer for today. Well, a Bible verse. Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. And that's Matthew 6:3. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can sit down now, George.
I had heavy paperwork. No, I'm only kidding.
Sometimes I figured where you went.
No, I didn't go there.
I don't know where you are. All of a sudden, you're just gone.
I was looking for my machine gun. I can't find it. I must put it back in the vault.
Oh, Well, I already did the prayer and the pledge, so.
And I saw it.
Yeah, you were stalking. Yeah.
So,
I was just talking about.
everybody,
I was talking about how I couldn't watch baseball this weekend because they had the game blacked out for me.
yeah.
Mark got to go to the baseball game, and then he was mean and he sent me pictures of it just to rub it in too.
Hey, listen, did you see Trump called it that the Prime Minister of England, Starmer, was resigning, which he did because he had enough pressure from the people with all the illegals, but they called them migrants in England, that they have more rights than the people of Britain do. So now they were all growling. They say now the replacement guy is worse than him. So it's like,
yeah. I know
they're gonna go crazy. They want the people from England just gonna go crazy. They're gonna. I know they don't have no guns, but let me tell you something. Don't mess with them people. The British.
I want to show you something because you're talking about that. This is Nate Friedman, and he went and walked around London and filmed it, so you could exactly see what's going on there. You won't freaking believe it. I mean, I don't even. It doesn't look like London.
It's a shame.
This is London. This is how many mosques are around me. This is what the sign looks like when you get off the train here. These are the advertisements you see. This is what it looks like when kids get out of school. This is what the political candidates look like. This is what it's like walking through the grocery store here. The UK has become unrecognizable, and that is why I traveled thousands of miles to come here to find out why and how this happened. Did the UK truly fall, and do they want to do this to our country next? Through my street interviews in this episode, you will learn exactly why this happened. People warned me that I could get arrested.
Isn't that something? That doesn't look like London, does it?
No, but the story is every one of their towns or parishes, they call them, are run by Muslim mass.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing is the setup. You know, everybody. I know we're preaching to the choir here, but the whole thing is people. What's going on with these elections, and it doesn't matter with the Democrats and everything else, who they're getting, who they're behind. They're behind. 3 years ago, the Democratic Socialist Party was only 20,000. Now it's over 100,000. And these are mostly, and how Mandami won is because of all the college there, all the college kids that were there went out and vote. The majority of all those colleges, because they're brainwashed. But see, the whole thing is our taxes go to these colleges, right? If any one of these professors in the colleges that preach socialism or anything else instead of what they're supposed to be doing, the funding should stop. That's it. That's why they're taking. This is why these colleges are preferring more students from foreign countries than American kids get in the first shot. That's a big problem also. I had a conversation with a young kid, a kid that's going to almost finish. He's finishing high school. And he said, what should I do? Should I go to college? I said, no, get a job. I said, go become a welder, electrician, a plumber. Because AI is not going to take over that. AI is going to be all about technology. Has nothing to do with. You're not going to see a robot.
Yeah, like what you're saying is a physical trade where it has to be a human being.
You're not going to see a robot walking around doing plumbing work, right? You got to use it, even if they program and everything. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to be like a person, maybe 40, 50 years from now. And if they get an electric shock, they're done.
Yeah, so don't take like gender basket weaving studies for women.
Yeah,
cooking.
Make a sandwich.
You're walking on the edge today.
Yeah, make a sandwich.
Oh, you go fucking make a sandwich. You're talking about that, but look I got a clip, and this lady goes through and she shows how many mosques are in each state. So it bolsters what you're saying.
My favorite subject.
Well, Georgia, you're fourth in line. Look at all those mosques. And here's the thing. I don't care if you call me a racist for not wanting Sharia in our government. I don't care if you call me a racist for not wanting illegals. None of that bothers me. And that's how we got here, was people that were too afraid to be called a racist because they stood up. And we're going to end up leaving our children to fight jihad And if you look at the Muslim Brotherhood plan, of course, CARE was found to be a co-conspirator, literally should have been put on the terrorist watch list. They weren't. They now started the CARE Super PAC, where they're dabbling in Georgia politics and donating big money to campaigns to help Muslims win elections because they need to fix America, which I heard an imam say. They even donated $100,000 to Mom Donnie's election. And it's weird because New York City has the second largest Jewish population in the world, and now you've got this Muslim mayor who's slowly showing his true colors. And if we don't get this under control in less than a decade, it's possible New York City could be the new capital of the United States, and we will be living in an entirely different world. We'll be living in 1979 Iran. It's not far-fetched, people. Time to wake up.
She's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And the whole thing is that, and this is how it starts. They also want the one in California. They want the two big states to fall to anything Muslim. Now, all of a sudden, you could see, and if you read the Quran, which I have, they're allowed to lie. They're allowed to accept other political standards as long as they can lie to the what do you call the non-Muslims, whatever they want to do, and talk about whatever.
Yeah, us infidels.
Yeah. So I don't want to say that word. It pisses me off.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't find my shirt. I have a shirt that says, what was it? Just help them to get along to see the 72 virgins. Muslim squad. Anyway, but the whole thing is everybody's sleeping at the wheel. I mean, and the whole thing is that the funny thing is that Democrats think they're using the Muslims to help take down America. It's the other way around. And people don't realize they burned 2 churches in the United States.
Yeah, those 2 in New York, those real super old ones. They haven't said, was it one that was just over the weekend? It was like built in the 1700s or something. And then there was one 2 weeks before that. And both of them, they never said what the start of the fire was or anything. What happens with little roving bands of Muslims burning them down?
I want to see what's going to happen on 9/11 in New York City. I was invited to go. I'm not going. I go to the one on Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. I was invited to that one, and that's where I will be going. But you imagine that they put prayer rugs at the 9/11 memorial, and because they have the guy says they have the right. What fucking right they have? They weren't there. They weren't there that day. I go through the whole story all the time. And we're just for, and the problem is, everybody better get out and vote the midterms. Just even the bullshit here in Florida. I mean, they're trashing. The Democrats do not trash their own, not at all. They don't care as long as they get the seat. Over here, they trash more people than everything else, but they forget about all the stuff that went on, controlled in Florida. You saw that. What do you call? You saw the solar farms there's 460,000 acres in Florida alone, solar farmlands, and the real estate's blowing like crazy. You know, they want to take over the farmland for the simple reason because the farmers aren't getting helped out, which now with all the stuff is supposed to be big with the open of the straits is going to help out the farmers a lot. It's just that people don't understand exactly what the game plan is. Like that, the thing. Remember, like the USAID, and also that black congresswoman yelled at Marco Rubio about you stopped USAID that helped a lot of starving people in Africa. Well, the people in Africa are still starving. That hasn't changed, right? 90% of Christians are being prosecuted, and churches are being born in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the USAID used to help and get socialists elected in these other countries, which there was a big one that was just done. If you want to put that photo up, it's going to stop about the migration in Colombia big time. This guy is so far to the right, it's unbelievable. And he won the amount of people vote because people had enough, and it's not controlled by the socialists and the communists. That's why the big plan was to get China out of Panama Canal, China out of Venezuela, and Russia and also Iran. So there's bigger pictures about what's going on with Iran. I know a lot of Musk has shown that these massive data centers are boondoggles.
Well, yeah, well, we knew about that one.
Yeah. So,
But you were talking about all kinds of off the wall stuff there for a few minutes, but we want to talk about something off the wall. Is remember how we finished off Friday with Tulsi Gabbard spilling all of her guts on Fauci, releasing all them papers. Now, any of the mainstream media has covered it over the weekend at all? Nobody. I took the clip.
no, that's fact. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it up on Rumble, and I think I put it up on Facebook too. So if anybody wants to grab it and spread it around, but that's just absolutely nuts that none of them have reported on it, and that's crimes against humanity. It's RICO. It's everything. Everything she said.
Yeah, I watched MS. I watched MS Nut Job yesterday. I said because I was tired of watching it Fox. I hate that Trey Gowdy. It just pissed me off. It just pisses me off with that turkey.
He's a whiny little guy, isn't he?
Oh, he's a jerk off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what do you call it? I watched remember the press secretary, what was her name?
Jen Psaki?
Yeah, Jen Psaki. She was talking, and she
Patty.
oh yeah, she just trashed how great Obama was and how Trump did the same deal that Obama did. I didn't see no pallets of cash going out and everything else. But she went from beginning to it about how Trump, with all the money he wasted and everything else, that it's the same exact deal as Obama. Yeah, but the whole thing is, I don't remember Obama blowing up their plants where the nukes were, the stuff was at, the things, the things that they were doing and all the other stuff. I don't remember Obama bombing anything.
No, but can I go back to Fauci a little bit?
I'm sorry. Well,
that's okay.
No, what I'm saying, she didn't say nothing about
Fauci. Your train of thought, I know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying she didn't say nothing. What I was trying to say, she didn't say shit about Fauci. Not one. The whole hour program was all about Trump. Nothing about Fauci. Nothing. That's what I wanted to bring up. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy that nobody's talking about it because they know how bad it is, and they're all going to be implicated in it too. The media, because they lied right along with them, and they knowingly lied. So that makes it a conspiracy, which makes it RICO when you got two or more people. I think they're going to rope in a lot of the mainstream media, maybe, and be able to pull licenses. What group was it that just bought out? It was a conservative group, bought out like Nickelodeon and a whole bunch of that shit just in the last 4 months. I know somebody in the chat will know exactly what I'm talking about, but that's why they were all freaking out at 60 Minutes and stuff, because conservatives are coming in and taking over all these positions. And so it's going to swing our way with media, but I'm wondering if it's something like that. But I came across this, and this is Nick Shirley and Ed Martin talking about Fauci's desperation.
You're the United States pardon attorney.
Yes, sir.
Just before Biden left office, literally a few hours before, he started signing a lot of pardons.
Correct.
One of those,
sort of. The auto pen started signing a lot of pardons. Go ahead. Yeah.
And one of those people was Anthony Fauci.
Yes.
What's the truth about
Well, look,
Anthony Fauci's pardon?
Well, one thing you started out, let me just explain to folks. The pardon power is in the Constitution, and it basically says, I'm summarizing, the president can pardon anybody he wants for any reason he wants. There's not a procedure set up. There's not a system. It's really the founders knew that there were times where you needed to write something that was wrong or do something you wanted, and that's what they gave them. So is that any president can pardon anybody. With regard to the end of a term, Biden was in a rush down the stretch, or his staff was, and they were pardoning all kinds of people. They did all kinds of commutations at the last minute, all with the auto pen. The only signature on pardons that you see with a wet pen is Hunter Biden, which was signed at Thanksgiving. All the rest are auto pen, which begs another question. But most importantly, you can see, and these are email exchanges where Dr. Fauci's lawyer is saying, will there be pardons for Fauci? And then in the morning of January 20th, and just in time for the change of the presidency, Fauci got his pardon. And you have to accept, under American law, the one thing the Supreme Court has said is you have to accept the pardon. So Fauci immediately had his lawyer say, I accept the pardon, and sent that in. So they were very aware that they needed that, and they wanted it.
That just go. He knows.
He's an excellent lawyer. He fought big for the January 6th too. He's an excellent guy. But the whole thing is, it's true what he said. The whole thing they did.
But just explained it so well. It was a really
but
good
200. They did 267 pardons that day on January 20th with AutoPen. They did all the January 6th committee people. They did all them, and that day on the 20th. They did Fauci. The only one, like he said, they did with the ink was Hunter Biden.
That's because he knew exactly, unchallengeable by doing it in my hand.
What's her name? Make-believe doctor must have said, you better send the sons up to baby, because he's going to go to jail. We don't want him to go to jail. Because, and the whole thing was Hunter approached his father and said to him, I want you to sign my pardon. If not, I'm going to sing like a fucking canary. And that's fact, and that's true. That's not a bullshit story. He threatened his father. So,
wow, he's such a freaking slime ball. But it's perfect. Perfect. They just shows that there was forethought in what they did, and they knew it was criminal by him using a regular signature on that pardon for his kid and not for the other ones. It just shows intent. I mean, that's all there.
Well, you remember that chart we put up, right? What I made up about the 16-year plan?
Yeah.
And which it was, because Trump wasn't supposed to win the first time. Hillary was, because that was part of the whole 16-year plan. It was supposed to be the destruction of America. And now what happens is the 4 years that Biden was there, he almost brought it back. I mean, there's so much shit about Obama. It's unbelievable what he, and it's amazing. You have these people that talk, the black people talk about, and even the white people gave Obama
Denise.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Denise said she heard one might run for president.
Oh yeah, that'd be really good. Yeah, he's gonna have white powder all over his nose.
That's funny.
Vote for me.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, what? It would be the best if you have him with a cigar coming out of his mouth.
That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. How's everybody doing today?
Very good.
I think George was going on a rant as I came and I heard him.
Oh yeah, I was.
I heard him. So
it's just unbelievable. The shit. Did you see the Prime Minister? Trump called it that the Prime Minister was going to resign. And sure,
but he didn't resign yet, though, has he?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Did he resign already?
Yeah. Yep. He came out today. They're picking out another guy.
I know he resigned. I know Trump beat him to it, but I didn't know the guy actually resigned.
Yeah, he did. He said, "Well, since it's out, I might as well go to it." But it's just unbelievable. The replacement is worse than him.
It could be.
Florida for Trump was asking if we saw about Bill Pooty. Yeah, this is what he put out over the weekend on X, right out of the DNI office on his official account. He did no explanation or nothing, just that photo. And then I heard when he went into the offices, he asked for lists of everybody that works there and what their position is, and that he's doing a whole shit can cleaning a house.
Yeah, political position. That's what he said. Political.
But to put that picture out, that's like, I'm coming for you.
Why would you, even the FBI, same shit they should do. Why would you have CIA? Forget about it. Don't you ain't even gonna bother with that. But the FBI, same thing. Look at their political who they voted for. Why did they vote for him? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, where's your loyalty to this country or to the communists? Which they're doing a good job.
How long is Pulte going to be? There's somebody else that he nominated, right, to take that position.
Yeah, well, I think it was just to stir up people. I think he picked him just to make them all puke in the Democratic Party. You know, I think that's why he put that up, because he was part of Wall Street, and that the money, the dollar sign started going up in the world and everything else. So they right away they went about the money. That's why he was picked. The Wall Street, ran a lot of funds and stuff like that. So put the buzzer on it. Just he's going to pick somebody else. But the whole thing is, I don't know. Is everybody going on recess? Is Congress?
Yeah, they're going to be going. They're going to be going here pretty soon for 4th of July, and then they're going to be gone for a while. And then they take the freaking month of August off.
Yeah, but maybe because then Trump can do his recess appointments
if they don't do the
piece of shit. June and Johnson don't hold the gavel.
Yeah.
Imagine that he's the only president that didn't pick any recess appointments. All the other presidents did. Every other president, Reagan, everybody. Obama did a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Biden even did it.
Denise put something in the chat. Did you see where someone put 8647 on the reflection pool? I didn't see that. That was on
not on the reflection pool, on the grass in front of the monument.
Yeah,
the grass piece.
That was on the National Mall. Yeah, into the grass in the National Mall. But the reflection pool, somebody kind of destroyed the blue film or whatever.
Yeah, they took some pieces out.
Yeah,
they took some pieces out. Plus, you got assholes there with holding signs up. We want algae. We want algae.
Oh yeah, this is funny. I got one of it. They're nutcases.
No. $1.1 million for y'all to watch porn scum. Our money's really being fucking spent well for y'all to watch porn scum. Let's go, algae. Let's go. So the National Guard could come and watch porn scum. $1.1 million a day so the National Guard could come and watch porn scum. Y'all trying to find something to arrest me for, aren't y'all? Right? You're going to try to find something to arrest me for.
Number one, she can't even speak English. Number two, if I was those soldiers, I would throw her in the fucking water.
No, first thing I would have did, I would have called ICE.
Oh yeah, she wasn't. Yeah, well, she was talking to.
I would have called ICE, but think about this: how sick people are. That's not the only one.
No, they had a whole bunch of them.
What?
They had a whole bunch of people around the pool.
Yeah, this one was just harassing the guard. You know what I would have done after you watching those videos? It would, if you would have had pepper spray, it would have been great to put it in the vent and back.
Yeah, well, but think about how sick this is. You got people that are rooting for algae.
Yeah,
overseeing it fixed. I mean, that's how sick the TDS is. But
number one, the water's not filtered. With the rain and everything else, there's got to be algae there. You know, they can't unless they put a filter pump in there to take the filter out the water. The water's not constantly running; it's just still. So that's a great thing about that. That's how. But I mean, the people standing around holding signs say, "We are supporting algae."
They're stupid. They're stupid.
I mean, think how crazy it is. Think how crazy these people are. Everything they support is off of normal reality, right? Mm-hmm. They support a man claiming he's a woman, right? But they, taking women's spots in sports. List goes on and on. Now they're supporting algae. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. What next? Supporting cancer?
Well, if Trump finds a cure for that, that's what they'll do.
USN Air has the $1 million question in the chat. Who is paying them?
Yeah, well, we all know that.
That lady didn't go out and buy a freaking costume and everything else so she can go. Yeah, USN Air is 100% right. She's getting paid by somebody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're all of them. Oh, here's a couple of $100. Go out and act like an asshole.
So last night I was having a conversation with someone, and they ended up losing their job and they're on unemployment. They've been on unemployment for about a month. They get a text. They get a text like a week or two ago, right? Make $350 a day. Call this number. Calls a number. It's like for like going out and protesting. I wonder if, you know, like in New Jersey, unemployment's run by the Democrats because it's Democrat control.
Mm-hmm.
They must have a list of people that are on, and they send stuff to people. I don't know.
Well, they sent when you go file for unemployment and stuff like that. They have a list of people where you could get work. So that's one of the perfect ones. That's a job.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. You know, that's a good point, Sean. Very good point.
Mhm.
I want to. Could we put this up? Can we put this up for Father's Day? I think this is a great message for all the fathers out there. What are you doing there, Blinky?
Just sitting here.
It's cute.
I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for...
You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I can't hear him.
You're muted, George. Damn.
I don't know if
I heard you. It's not deaf.
Yes, and you're
What did
muted.
I say it 17 times, George? What's going on?
Oh, he couldn't understand a thing I said.
But happy Father's Day to everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm down too.
Florida for Trump had to go cover the pool with a giant Trump 2028 cover.
Yeah.
That would drive him nuts, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I got something about the Obama Library if you guys are interested. It's from it's from Promethean Action, so it's interesting.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. So it's something. I thought maybe it was the picture with Oscar the Grouch coming out of it.
Yeah. that
So
would be
this isn't the presidential library. It's a cover-up. At the Thursday dedication, Valerie Jarrett, Obama's longtime manager, opened with this.
We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations.
But she didn't apologize to the current Southside residents for stealing a beautiful and historic public park. That land became Obama's center. She didn't apologize to the black contractors who worked on the center and got stiffed by Obama and now are in bankruptcy. Most of all, she didn't apologize to the American people for Barack Obama's attempt to steal and revise an entire 8 years of American presidential history. Now, every president since Herbert Hoover has donated their official records to the federal government, their papers, their correspondence, their decisions, held by the National Archives, accessible to historians and researchers, and made available by the archives to the American public. That's what's called a presidential library. But Obama's presidential records aren't even at his center. They're at the National Archives. And through a corrupt sweetheart deal with the National Archives, Barack Obama and his foundation are determining what documents get digitized and when they get digitized or released. The Daily Beast, normally an Obama fan, calls this, and I quote, a mockery of transparency. And here's what Obama said about the building he helped design.
And it's why we designed the center not to be some lifeless mausoleum. I am too young for that. Not just a place to see Michelle's dresses, although I understand that will be the top attraction. We wanted it to be a vibrant, living celebration of community, where we can learn together and share the joys of art and music and sport and play. Because it's in those moments that we're reminded of our common humanity and strengthen the bonds of trust that not only make our lives richer, but make our democracy stronger.
Listen to those soaring words and then look at that building again. Doesn't it remind you of the entire Obama presidency? Isn't its brutality and ugliness the truth regarding the three presidencies preceding Donald Trump's surprise 2016 victory? Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Obama. Clinton, Bush, and Joe Biden were all at the dedication ceremony yesterday, dancing and enthralled with the idea of celebrating Barack Obama. But Bill Clinton's presidency was when China was brought into the WTO, and the final offshoring of America's manufacturing and industrial infrastructure began and continued. Under Bush, 9/11 inaugurated a seemingly permanent surveillance police state and the disastrous Iraq War. Barack Obama bailed out the world's speculators in 2009 on the backs of American workers and the middle class. They ended up broken, while Obama's banker friends only got richer. They were told to, quote, learn to code. That's not to mention Obama's role in starting the wars in Ukraine and Iran. And finally, that's when a rigged election resulted in a senile man assuming America's presidency. 4 years of government by staff and American decline run by holdovers loyal to one man, Barack.
Yep, well,
it's amazing.
Yeah, but the thing was about Valerie Jarrett. You know, she's Iranian, and she helped bring the Muslim Brotherhood into the White House.
Yep.
Which somebody was saying about a thing that they haven't been. The Muslim Brotherhood hasn't been known as a terrorist group. They have. Trump approved that one. I think 6 months ago that Muslim Brotherhood are a terrorist organization. And they shouldn't be. Supposedly they're funding these elections, and they shouldn't be because of their status. So that's a important thing. But you know, like a lot of the black people are waking up, especially the young kids. You know, because of what's going on. But I think a lot of people are paying attention, especially what it was all about Obama.
Yeah,
you know, and everything else. And like I said, I don't know. I think there's a great video clip that I put up, which I think it.
What were you going to say, Sean?
I was just going to say, going back to that, it's amazing that with the records, I didn't know that you know that they're
not the birth certificate. His birth certificate wasn't put in that library.
It's amazing. That should be the main attraction if it's legit, right? Have the birth certificate there, but
supposedly in Hawaii locked up.
But that it's just amazing that like she said, presidential libraries have all their stuff in them, not selected material. You know. And you know, him saying that we're going to learn from there and all that's more to keep on with his socialism type of desire in the country and keep on doing what he's doing. You know, he had his third term where he could sit back and pull the strings with Joe. You know, and speaking of Joe, how about when Joe was leaving? He looked like somebody.
They left him standing on the stage.
He was looking. He was like, "Hey, somebody mentioned ice cream. Where's the ice cream at?"
I played that clip. I think it was Friday when you were gone, and Jill and Obama walk off and leave him all by himself standing over there. And then he said something like he thought he saw his granddaughter out in the audience too. It was funny as hell.
Which one? The illegitimate granddaughter, apparently.
Maybe. Maybe.
Right, the one, or I shouldn't say illegitimate, the one that he just doesn't.
Oh yeah, that one named Navy. The one, yeah, I know which one.
Here's a great statement from J.D. Vance. The UK is becoming an Islamic state with nukes. They could soon be a serious threat to America. Do you agree with Vance?
Yeah.
Good
was
point.
that stated?
Well, in the Obama library, you were talking about they don't have any of the records. Remember, like the Obamacare bill was like 5 foot tall, the whole thing. For posterity purposes, they put a page and a half of that bill in the presidential library for Obama. That's it, a page and a half.
Yeah, and when people go, they're going to go, oh yeah, look at the bill. Oh, it's not. They should have put the actual thickness of paper. Remember when that was one great thing about Trump too, was when he came in office and they slashed all those regulations. Remember, they put in the Oval Office how thick the regulations were they were cutting. You remember that picture?
Yeah.
Right. They should put a picture of what the Obama bill, Obamacare was, in with papers.
Yeah, put that in a nice glass case. So what's this clip you got down here, George?
Oh, it's something about what a black kid was saying. I thought it was pretty good. This was after the speech. Somebody posted this after the speech that he did.
Is it me or does it feel weird when somebody is just like completely unpatriotic? Like, don't get me wrong, America has plenty of flaws, like big ones. But so does my mom. That doesn't mean that I stop actively loving, supporting, and wishing for nothing but the best for her, while also still acknowledging that some things could be different and need to be changed. Two things can be true at once. It just seems so weird to me to be American, live in America, but then actively be rooting for America to fail because the scope of the country doesn't look exactly how you want it to be. To me, it's the equivalent of buying and living in a house that you are actively waiting to fall apart. Like, maybe you're not wishing for the house to fall apart, but low-key, you're anticipating and almost kind of waiting for it to happen. Almost like you want some kind of gotcha moment. But it's like, you do realize you live there, right? If America crumbles, your whole life crumbles. And again, make no mistake about it, I'm not saying that we need to ignore America's flaws and pretend like everything is copacetic around here. But pretending like life is so bad here, all scrolling up and down on your $1,000 phone and riding around in your multi-$1,000 car and living in your hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of house, it just kind of screams privileged. Coming from someone whose father wasn't born here, has close friends that weren't born here, and whose parents weren't born here, America's living conditions might not be something to complain about too much. Especially knowing that you have access to be able to leave at any point in time.
That's
because
right.
If you actually thought that it was better somewhere else, then why be here? Because like it or love it, this might actually be one of, if not the best option. And as someone who's played sports his whole life, is it me or does it feel weird when somebody is
You're muted.
I mute myself so the tape can play so I don't get no feedback.
Oh,
good job, George. All right.
I know. Look at
George. George, that works better when you're in a hotel on the road and you're around the bagel or I'm sorry, waffle maker. That works better with
Well,
right?
we got the well. Every time I looked at a waffle, it reminded me of Mark.
Waffles. A W is an M upside down.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. You guys were talking about how patriotic. George sent me this to put up. This is pretty cool. Isn't it cool?
Yeah. Now, does anybody watch Jimmy Fallon on Fox on Saturday nights?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes he gets on my nerves.
Did you? Well, yeah. I mean, he's not everybody. I don't really watch him. Once in a while, I'll watch him if I'm not doing anything. But I'm not like a every Saturday night watcher. But apparently, they had a mock-up of Obama's presidential library on the show Saturday night. Let me show it. Just pull it up, Tricks. It's a long clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play the mock-up.
Barack Obama opened his presidential library in Chicago. If you haven't seen the library, here's a pic.
Yeah.
I saw one with the waste management on the side of the building.
There's so many memes going around. There's one with Oscar the Grouch coming out of the top.
Yeah.
Right?
That would have been cool. That's good. I didn't see that one.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
No.
I'll find it.
Cool. I gotta find the one with waste management. That's good. That was good. I mean, they did it so perfectly on the side of the building. It was unbelievable. So how do you steal an election? They're still trying. They're still trying. They're not giving up on it.
Well, here's Burchett talking about save
out and show that the Democrats have been blocking that. And I just think, excuse me, the Save America Act, yeah, I believe it's called. But anyway, you know, you don't know what I'm talking about. You've got to show a birth certificate to play Little League baseball in America, and yet now here we are. The Democrats are fighting us, saying it's going to cost millions of people the right to vote. Well, those millions of people happen to be illegals and dead. So those are the two categories that they're blocking. So you know, and we're doing a terrible job at messaging that. For some reason, we don't want to get our hands dirty. And then you look at what's happened in New York. They're electing literally openly Marxist people.
Right. Yep.
He's 100% right. I mean, that's Chuck Schumer said, what, 25 million people will be off the voter rolls? Well, there you go. They have people on the voter rolls. It doesn't even matter about votes because they produce ballots. They don't worry about producing votes. They produce ballots.
That's correct.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, that's why we did that video about how the election was stolen. We all know it was stolen, but it was a plan that they did. They plan on. Democrats are very good planners. That's why they are excellent.
Well, they are, but they know they have this secret sauce on how to steal an election, without a doubt. It's not conspiracy theory. There's a reason why they don't want that Save America Act. Right away, they come. I mean, let me ask you a question: if any one of these voters needed to get on a plane to fly somewhere, what would they do? They can't fly on a plane because they can't get an ID.
Yeah.
Right. He's right. You need a burst of it to play Little League baseball. I mean, that's the truth. Mm-hmm. All this stuff about getting your ID and it's all bullshit.
Now look how fast. Remember when they did the lines? They had separate lines for illegals. They didn't have to show identification to get on the plane. They didn't have to get the COVID. They didn't have to wear a mask, but the people on the other side had to wear a mask. Right? That's why we put that video up. It's pretty good.
You remember Maria Bartiromo during the week, she showed a clip, and I think it was Ro Khanna, and he was saying about how the SAVE Act is terrible because women won't be able to get their birth certificates and that kind of stuff to get a real ID. And she just stuck them right in her place. She goes, "Are you kidding me?" She says, "I needed a copy of my birth certificate. I got right online, bing, bang, boom." She says, 30 minutes later, I had it. She says, "What are you talking about?" She says, "I have no idea what you're talking about." You know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
No, I was just saying, she, how easy is that? You could do that in every single state. You just get online and you can get it. If you can't print it off, you can have it printed off somewhere. But digitally, I think as long as the seal is on it, it's accepted. Mm-hmm.
The issue with that is it's not an everyday habit of people, right? So in other words, you're not looking for your birth certificate every day. You're not looking to get stuff for your ID every day. When you get it, you got to go through it. But I know in New Jersey, just to get your driver's license, when you go to get a driver's license, you have to have what they call 6 points of ID. I don't know if other states have that, but you have to have your birth certificate, just different items, and it adds up to 6 points.
Yeah, Social Security. Yeah.
So that's to get a driver's license, right? Or your ID, you have to have that. A bank card counts as 1 point, or a debit card, and different things like that. A bill in the mail will count as a couple points, or that's what they want to see. People get IDs by them saying, that minorities can't get IDs. Well, that's racist saying that. You're trying to say these people don't know how to get an ID. Mm-hmm. They'll figure it out.
Yep,
it's ridiculous. And we allow it to keep on happening. That's the problem.
Yep, we don't. Yep,
we just shut them right down by calling what they are. When they say that minorities can't get an ID, why don't we call them racist? Why don't we right away? Why don't we say that's a racist statement? Why would you when one of these people are on let's say the unfriendly news network, and they say, well, minorities are having a problem. Why don't we just turn right around and say to the interviewer, well, that's kind of a racist statement for you to say. Why would you say that?
It'd be funny, wouldn't it? I wish somebody would.
Yep.
Well, a lot of women they have a birth certificate. When they got married, their names were changed to the husband's name. United States is the only country that does that. All the other European countries, the women keep their maiden name. The children takes the name of the husband. That's how.
Artie Bull said apparently not to get CDLs.
Yeah, had no problem with that one.
Yeah.
They caught. I tell you, when I'm riding on the road, you got to see how many the cops pull these trailers over. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of trailers.
You saw immigration trucks sitting on the side of the highway.
Yep, highway waiting. Yep, waiting.
2 of them right in a row. When they were what, about a mile and a half, 2 miles apart, maybe.
Yep.
So they were watching, and they were. It
looks like what they were watching, like coming out of the blue states, like either they're coming from Illinois or blue state or something like that. That's where they set themselves up because of that stuff.
Here, Trix, here's the meme of Oscar the Grouch coming out of the Obama Presidential Library.
I like that. That's really good.
It kind of resembles like a Jurassic Park theme, like with the people sitting there looking up at it, right? And it's coming out.
Yeah.
Funny.
No, it's just look how many people he screwed out. They screwed out of the money. And you know who's going to pay for that? The taxpayers of Chicago. They took over that. He took over that land. Didn't pay for the land. Right, that land was taken over. In fact, I think it was for the VA hospital. So that's what was supposed to go there. Was a VA?
Yeah, I thought I heard that. I thought I heard that too.
Yeah.
Supposed to go to a VA
Imagine that.
hospital.
Yeah. Oh, he can't. They care for the veterans. They don't give a shit about veterans. Anyway, but this is how I got this video because General Flynn told me this one's great. It should have been more of it, but we did the one about how to steal the election and how they planned it so good.
Start with a virus, import it into America, talk about it nonstop, call some governors, not them, that's your guys. Put patients into nursing homes, kill thousands, blame the president, keep blaming, blame some more, lock down small business, kill the economy, push mail-in voting, stoke a race war, call for riots, pick a candidate, no, not her, yeah, that's more like it, lock him in his basement, shield him from the press, don't cover this, don't cover this, don't cover this, keep doing that, ignore the economic recovery, downplay the world peace, pump the polls, pump, don't stop pumping, install your software in swing states. That was fast. Take control of polling stations, call off the election when you're losing, kick everyone out, pull out all the extra ballots, get the software to do its thing, get the media to say it's over, call the big tech guys, ban anyone who notices, act like the whole thing never happened. Stealing the most powerful republic in the world. It's that easy.
You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted, George.
That's not weird.
For the first time in George's life, he's been muted.
We're muted? You sounded like Brooklyn.
I can't understand what you're saying, George.
You're muted. Hey, you know that? Remember that wrestler that turned around and said, like Michelle is a man. So
the
how
UFC
much?
Guy, the UFC guy. Yeah.
Right. So they kept on going back. They're trashing him like crazy, but it was okay for them to trash Melania and fake photos with Epstein and the nude photos and that's all okay. But when it comes to them, boy, let me tell you. It just doesn't stop.
Yep. But how about the stuff put out on Friday, right? With Gabbart. I guess Gabbart's out of there now, right? Is official gone?
Mm-hmm.
With about Fauci and the MSM mainstream media hasn't given it 1 minute of coverage. CBS, ABC.
What I said that with what do you call it? we were talking about that I watched. I couldn't take Trey Gowdy. I just can't take her. So I said, let me watch MS Now. And she's up there, and the only thing she talked about the war that Trump got in, and it's the same deal that Obama. But I don't remember Obama bombing anything. You know, it was all about how much it's the same deal that Obama made that Trump is making now with the nukes and everything else. But I didn't. Did you see any skids of money going from Trump and everything else?
Well,
like
we gave under Obama, we gave plane loads of cash, right? Plane loads,
billions,
and it was all a dog and pony show. Which you got to wonder, honestly, with knowing how this stuff works, where money went to Ukraine, came back to politicians.
Yeah,
I wonder what kind of money came back to Obama's people when Iran got that money. Did any money come back as a boomerang? I don't know. But and they want to talk about this 300 million. 300 million is not coming from the United States. 300 million is not even going in anywhere. 300 million is investment if they do certain things down the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with it because all we destroyed was their military. So why give them $300 million investment? But it's not the same deal as Obama and all the Middle East countries were against it of Obama's deal. Trump got the Middle East countries to adapt to our deal, right? So
well, yeah, I like that he's making them all join the Abraham Accord.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because then that binds them into, certain actions and everything. So it helps reinforce, the background stuff for the whole deal with Iran. That way everybody will mind their P's and Q's, But
Sergeant put a comment in the chat. Netflix was a tool to money launder back to Obama. And what?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Well, remember he's supposed to create all this. First of all, what's Obama? A screenplay writer or something now, or a movie writer?
He's just a hot dog eater.
Yeah. So all this money is getting paid. Anything they produce or make is going to be a woke type of thing, right?
Yeah.
To push wokeness. But it probably was for money laundering.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I believe it. Just like the books. The books are the money laundering, and I know for a fact, that's that. I told you guys before that my kid knew Michael Moore, and Michael Moore took him in a warehouse, and he has a whole warehouse that's just full of books. They print them, and then they never sell them. They just sit them there, and they get the payment, and they always make the profit margin. But yeah, all that stuff is like that. How many of them always leave office, and that's the first thing they do is write a book. Almost, you could count on it. Almost like 99% of the time.
Yeah, and they always
who buys that shit? Who buys those books?
They always say there's no money in books, but I guess if you're money laundering, I guess there is.
Yeah, because look at people that try to sell books. Look how hard it is for them.
Dr. Mike.
Yeah, it's hard for them, but some Joe Blow from the administration gets 4 million books the first week. Bullshit,
Yeah.
I think they order them for like their lobbying companies and all that kind of stuff too. It's all bullshit. But Netflix, yeah.
There's a video here. I want to share it real quick. I guess Omar's under fire again with this financial stuff.
Doesn't matter. They go after that fucking mafia guy, but they don't do shit about what do you call it?
But you can talk about
has to
what?
I mean,
no.
And I'll tell you.
It's got Omar, not Flynn.
Well, there it is. It wasn't there when I looked just a second ago.
There you go.
Husband, Tim Minette, once listed his net worth to be up to $30 million in 2024. And that caused a push for an investigation into the business holdings of the couple. But that ended up being a clerical mistake, according to the Congresswoman. Instead, a new filing has listed her assets between $20,000 and $125,000. Big difference. Minette's net worth is the most staggering part of this, though, with a reported income between $200 and $1,000. And despite that low income, Minette's company, Rose Lake Capital, reported income between $100,000 to $1 million. His defunct wine-based company reported around $5,000 in income of last year. The latest filing will no doubt add further scrutiny to Omar, with Republicans continuing to push for an investigation into her private holdings. An RNC spokesman told the New York Post this: voters see right through the corrupt lies of Ilhan Omar. Omar has spent her entire career covering up Democrat-enabled fraud that cost taxpayers billions, so it's no surprise that she would do the same for her husband. Omar's income controversy has only drawn further scrutiny, though, into all those fraud allegations across her home state of Minnesota. Carly.
All right.
Yep. If she wants to get some more income, she needs a couple of clearing centers.
Yep. Well, that's the thing that's why General Flynn came out with this thing. Make instead of making America great again, make accountability great again.
Yeah,
nobody's been putting in. Yeah, like I said, they went after John Elite, they went after him, right? But you have this one here, Omar, that stole billions of dollars of our taxpayer money. And what is she doing? She's still in Congress. Did they remove her from Congress, from the Ethics Committee? No.
Look how fast they removed. Look how fast the Republicans removed what's his name from New York. What was his name?
Yeah. Santos.
Yeah.
George Santos.
Yeah. Look how fast they removed him, and they jumped all over him and just kicked him out. And obviously we lost the Republican seat. I can't believe this lady still walk around Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what he calls says too. General Flynn said the same thing all the time. He says that's why I put that video clip up. Accountability. It's unbelievable what's going on, and it just doesn't stop. I mean, look what Tulsi comes out with. Everything about Fauci, and what is he doing? That clip that Trixie put up about with Nick, right? Talking to Ed, the lawyer, about the auto pen. I think there's a lot of stuff. They said like 270 on the 20th of the day of the presidents that Trump was taking over. They did 276 pardons by auto pen. They did the whole J6 thing. They did the thing about the only one that was signed legit was Hunter, his son, because the son threatened him that, if everybody remembers, the son threatened him about he's going to rat out about everything that's going on about the father. So they gave him a legitimate one.
Well, they should subpoena the auto pen worker,
what, the machine,
the auto pen. Well, no, the person.
I know.
The person that was running it, right? It's got
but everybody, but they have a few people that do run that machine.
But they should start there. Like, who told you to do this?
Yep.
What,
I agree.
There was a lot of money made off of pardons. Also, who was making the money off pardons?
Elizabeth Warren apparently had most of the pardons out of that auto pen too. She made a lot of money off of it.
Well, I'm sure she probably,
Hey, you want a pud? Give me $50,000.
She could have been an Indian giver though, and
wow. Don't you remember the Valley Jared mentioned all the tribes, the Katawis, the Babawis.
That's a good one, Trix.
What's that?
The Ojibwe.
Yeah.
The Ojibwe lived up by where I used to live. There was.
What about what do you call Twatawacha? What was that? That one?
No, where the fuck are we?
No, that one and then the Twatawachis.
No,
the Twatawachis.
Oh boy.
Yeah, play that.
You go see where we're going here, Sean.
A new tribe. Go ahead. Play Flynn.
Oh, I gotta do this first because I missed it. That's the Twatahachis.
We gotta get that thing. The guy made the shirt about that.
Because he and I worked very hard for the last 4 years to get who's in the White House elected. I know we're live streaming. Like I say, the older I get, the smarter my father becomes, and I am so beyond the nonsense stage of my life. When I mentioned earlier about Fauci, and I wrote a letter to President Trump, and I posted it online, and the letter is basically, it's a dear Mr. President, we better make. I said the year 2026 should not be Make America Great Again. It should be make accountability great again, right? And I just think that, and it's that's the legacy of these men who stood up and spoke so honestly, and then were attacked. And you know, we're all trying to be like polite and use the justice system, and we're going to fight the lawyers, and we're going to go do this. I mean, we're all trying to do this. We're all really trying very, very hard to do the right thing, to fight back. Believe me, you know, he's lost millions of dollars, right? We're all trying to do all this stuff, right? And we're all trying to be polite. But there is going to come a time when the American people are not going to be polite anymore. And I do believe that we're entering a period, as Arthur Pawlowski said, you know, we're entering a period where it's like it's already here, right? So these men, I mean, this is like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I mean, these are things that happened in the past, and it's like I don't feel like anything's changed. Am I like preaching to the choir?
And that's what it is. A lot of times we are preaching to. What are you laughing for? What are you laughing for? I hope your glasses fall off your head. What's so funny? What, you want to share it? All right.
I was reading something in the chat.
Starmer,
just be funny.
So Starmer, I guess, will still, even though he resigned, he'll still be the prime minister until probably September, right? Is what they're saying.
Well, that's not good then. I thought he was like out the door today.
No, when you resign these things, you don't. Yeah, you're not out the door right then and there. You got to have. So he'll be in there to screw up stuff.
Well,
he's got to make the Muslims finish doing what they're doing. You saw that because if you remember, Zelensky was at the G7 summit, but he left before Trump came there, and he was very close to what's his name, Macaroni, and they were going to give him more money, and then all of a sudden he attacked the fuel depots in Russia, in Moscow. He sent the drones over there and blew the shit out of there and stuff. So I mean, they're talking about, you know, everybody, all the NATO and everything else. They're worried about Russia, but it doesn't look Russia's so strong that they're complaining about that. They're worried about the threat from Russia. The only threat that Russia's got is that nuclear warheads. And I think that sonic missile that can't be detected. And I think Ukraine's going to be a rude awakening, because the Ukraine president is telling the soldiers and everything to pick up any men able to fight, and the kids 18 years old, 17 years old, and kidnapping him and getting him dressed up to fight the war. No volunteers at all. It's unbelievable what's going on there. And don't forget,
I've seen some of that. I've seen clips of that of guys just walking down the street and getting grabbed and pulled into a van.
Yep. And that's what's going on. And then, talk about a democracy that all the Democrats were talking about. And what happens is he stopped 2 elections happening. So that's Well,
sounds like a king. Sounds like he's a king.
Yep.
It's funny, and obviously war is war, right? But I think 3/4 of Ukraine don't even know there's a war going on, because there's nothing going on on those parts of Ukraine.
Yeah, the other parts. Oh, yeah, they got nice cars and everything.
unless they're going over there and grabbing people and taking them over to throw them on the front lines, right? We heard stories about that where they would just pull up in vans and
that's what they're doing.
And force them to fight. But why wouldn't they have a election? Zelensky, they said, would be voted out today if there was an election.
Yep.
Yeah, look how many of the churches he's closed down.
Yeah. So I mean, why are we
outlawed other parties? I mean, he was a little fascist, if you ask me.
Why isn't he resigning, and or at least allowing or not even resigning?
We get the more money.
Hang on, allowing an election. That's it's been how many years has the war been going on?
Like 7.
At least 5, right? At least 5 years.
There was Obama the first time, right? Wasn't Obama?
No. Well, that was, but I'm talking about right now. The war has been going on for at least 5 years, let's call it, because it happened when Biden was in, and Trump's been in for not even 2 years yet, so probably about 5 years at the most, 4 years, 5 years. I mean, to not allow an election the whole time, he has no. If he can just keep the war going another 3 or 4 years, how long will he be president? How much money could he stockpile up?
He wants to make it a permanent war situation so he can be a dictator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all authoritarian. And if they can keep their country in a state of emergency, even if it's only getting bombed in one little town or something, he could do that for in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Right? Until they go ahead and pull them out. That's what I'll say.
It started ongoing war. Ukraine is too.
Money laundering and biolabs. USA and Air says, yeah, that's definitely the biolabs, the money.
It's been going on for 12 years.
I thought 7.
Not this war now. I'm talking about right now. Is you had stuff going on when they took Crimea or whatever it was. I'm talking about right now since when Biden was in. It's been about 4 years. Yeah, I think Super Trooper is right. I mean, there's other conflicts, right? Because they had other conflicts before. So if you add everything up,
it's 4 years. You're right. It's 4 years from February 24, 2022, but it says it had also effects in February 2014. February 2014, the conflict first erupted with Russia, so it caused
It's NATO's fault for trying to put the stupid missiles and all that shit in Poland on the border. They should have just left.
Well, the Crimea was given up during Obama's administration.
Yeah. Wasn't that the red line in the sand Obama said? He gave them blankets and.
Too bad there was no red sand.
Yeah.
Oh, Obama's such a nasty person.
Yeah. So, it's ridiculous, but this thing keeps on going.
The drunk was on. What's
money
on it? Yeah, that's what I say. You can track details day by day, developing the timeline. Russia.
Well, Zelensky, he must have some good blackmail material on everybody for what all is going on in Ukraine, because otherwise nobody would be kissing his ass. They would have told him to get lost a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't forget the time. Remember, Biden was sitting there. He was the vice president and told the guy if he
looked at his watch.
Yeah, looked at his watch. Yep, look at this.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between that story, the leaked what do you call it?
What about the labs?
The biolabs. There were pictures of Lindsey Graham with Obama in a Ukraine munitions factory. I remember seeing those before the war broke out.
Yep.
So it was all planned by, it's a whole deep state money laundering bullshit. And we ended up really getting sucked. We got suckered bad.
Yeah.
How much money?
Very important question in the chat. Where's Red today? Working.
Yeah, Red's having surgery today.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, put it on prayer.
She might be back Wednesday, maybe. I'm gonna check on her later. She was going in this morning.
All right, we'll say a prayer for
I talked to her yesterday evening before. So I told her we'd all pray for her and send good juju, so it all comes out good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even the George puppet will pray for her.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder what that one would sound like.
But yeah, this Zelensky thing, I don't know. It's funny when Trump came. Trump came in. He said, "I'm gonna have this war wrapped up very quickly and all."
Mm-hmm.
You got European nations trying to pump money in there. There's too much money being made on this war that obviously they don't give a shit about life. They just care about the money.
Yep. Well, don't forget it's a stupid game. What if you put the next video, you'll see everything. That the whole thing is about. They're buying oil from Russia and they're fighting Russia.
Catch
Oh, is
that.
Ukraine buying oil from
The
Russia?
empire's own central
not that
banker
one,
just
not that
told
one,
you that
Tracy.
NATO is not really the operative.
Wrong one, Trix.
All I see is another one that has numbers, so I'm going to assume.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Distance with a few simple questions, if you don't mind. Let's start with the war in Ukraine, shall we? Here's what Western leaders in Europe and in the UK keep saying. Russia's losing badly. Its army is beaten down. It can't even take Ukraine. Its economy is broken. People are standing in bread and gas lines. Okay, let's just accept that for a moment. That is true. The same people are also saying in the next 5 years, Russia will attack the entire continent of Europe. Let's stop for a second. How can both be true? How can a military too weak to defeat Ukraine also be strong enough to invade the entire continent of Europe? That's question number one. Now let's talk about what this actually means for the citizens. When leaders talk about conscripting to the military, they're talking about sending their native population, their sons, their husbands, their fathers, their daughters, and so on. Not everyone living in those countries, if you know what I mean. So what happens when those citizens are sent away? Women, children, and the elderly are left behind to fend for themselves in countries already under massive internal strain, countries struggling with crime, instability, and social breakdown, much of it tied to what? Mass immigration. Your leaders are telling you your country's under pressure, your economy is failing, your cities are strained. And the solution is to send the citizens away to go fight in a foreign land and to die. Does that make any sense to you? Don't try and justify it with patriotism. Use common sense. All this while being told the enemy is both completely broken and at the same time an existential threat. You can't make this make sense to me. Now, let's talk about military capability. European armies don't function as one army. They don't share the same systems, logistics, or intelligence. NATO only works because America provides the backbone for the systems, the logistics, and the intelligence. So if America isn't involved, how exactly is Europe supposed to fight a major war across the entire continent? Because the EU and NATO are pushing this war, and no, America has always helped them before. So they're gambling that we're going to help. Now let's talk about the United States for a second. President Trump has made it clear we do not want to get involved in this war. And frankly, as an American, neither do I. American service members have shed blood in wars far from home for generations. Over 1 million U.S. military deaths across our history on foreign soil. So it's obvious why we don't want to be dragged into another war with Russia, especially alongside European warmongers and ill-equipped, incapable NATO. So ask yourself this, since this story doesn't make sense, why are all the talking heads, the powerful people, the leaders in the media repeating it over and over again? If you're waiting for the answer, I'm not going to give it to you because you already know the answer. And if you don't know the answer, after everything I just showed you, then the truth is, as hard as it sounds, you don't want to know the answer. And that's one of the reasons why I founded Take America Back, because your intuition as a citizen, servant leader is what you will serve you. That intuition leads to integrity, and integrity is built upon moral foundations. That's where common sense lives. Look, wars don't start with bombs. They start long before that. They start when citizens stop asking obvious questions and stop demanding real answers. And when fear replaces critical thinking. If that responsibility resonates with you and you want to take part in building an organization that rebuilds our constitutional republic from the ground up based on morals, integrity, and common sense, well then, join me on Patreon. The link.
I think that was a good point.
No, I like that. That was he wasn't screaming and yelling, so that was really no. He explained it very succinctly and very calmly and very thoroughly. So,
I mean, Trump even told them, why, if you're supplying Ukraine with money and you're buying oil from Russia, they opened up that pipeline again to Europe from Russia, going right across the top of Crimea. So, for gas and fuel. So, and then that's why Trump says, why should we protect you if you're using their stuff?
Well, yeah, it's stupid. I don't really see the point of NATO anymore anyways. When it was originally founded, there was a purpose for it, but now it's more of a hindrance to us than it is a purposeful thing. They just need to get rid of it. We shouldn't be responsible for the safety of everybody else. Everybody that, It's just like a bully that walks down the street and expects the whole gang behind him.
Susan said a
Why
pretty
do
good
we-
thing about the G7 thing. So I thought,
Well,
they had a
no.
big meeting with the G7 and how he signed the thing, and it's all everything is just a game because it's a plane.
I know. That's what I was saying about NATO. So why are we spending all that money? Let's just get rid of it. You know, there's no point in it anymore.
But there's so much. The whole thing is there's so
Muted,
much.
Sean.
There's so much
I didn't
involved. What happened?
Sean was muted. He was trying to talk.
If we're funding NATO, I'm not for it, right? If we're funding NATO like we've been, but if the other countries are pulling their fair share, I think NATO serves some type of purpose. But if we're funding most of it, no, I
Yeah,
think
we
it's time,
are.
it's time to stop that and just move. You know that's.
Well, the good point is about we have to worry about
Can't
what
protect the world.
JD Vance said about the UK is getting taken over by the Muslims, and it's going to be, and they got nuclear weapons there. So
When did he say that? I haven't heard. I didn't hear that.
I just saw it on Facebook. It's a post that he said.
There's a post from JD Vance.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I can't find it now.
Because some of these things sometimes are. Let me see, JD Vance. Let me look at his official.
Well, while you're looking at that, we're talking about getting rid of NATO. They should get rid of the UN too. Go ahead and take the building over and make it into homeless veteran housing right in the center of the city with all their services right there, and kick all those idiots out and keep them away. We don't need the United Nations. It's corrupt. We don't want to be part of the United Nations or the WEF or any of that crap. Those international treaties always end up being really bad for us.
Yeah.
So, well, it's true. You know,
You want to put,
the UN is nothing. Oh, that's just the UN's horrible. Look at the blue helmets, all the rape allegations, and all the stuff that always goes on with them, and especially the corruption, the money. You ever seen an African nation do well after all the money they've been given? Nope, they're still in the same status quo.
look at Africa. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and all that money that goes there, and nothing. And how many years? What has it been? 60 years? The UN, 70 years maybe. And the countries have never gotten better. You know,
You want
And
to
South
play?
Africa actually went the other way. You know,
You want to
they're-
play Susan? You want to play Susan about the G7 summit?
Yeah. Oh, why you
So
tired?
that wasn't said recently by JD Vance. This was said in July of 2024. Vance spoke at the National Conservatism Conference and joked, it says, that UK could become the first truly Islamist country that will get a nuclear weapon. That's what he said. So, I mean, it's a joke, but it could be serious too. Like, yeah, I mean, like the
Look how bad it is in UK.
Dark humor, sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at London. There's no go zones, right? It's only getting worse.
They're renaming London. Did you know that?
No, what? London?
No, Mobile.
What?
Mobile.
Oh,
Mobile?
Mohammedville.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
Mobile.
Muslim mayor, right? Doesn't London have a Muslim mayor? Or is there?
Oh, every parish, every town has a Muslim mayor. Every one of them.
Yeah, I came across the clip over the weekend, George, and it listed all the shires or whatever the hell it is in England.
that's it.
It showed all of them, all the Muslims for every one of them. It was like unreal. I should have saved it.
Yeah, because they go out and vote. But the people in England pissed off. They're starting to push back a lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens there. I mean, yeah, obviously you have the stabbings that just happened, right? In Ireland, was it Ireland or was that in England where the girl got stabbed in the neck?
Yeah, Ireland. Ireland.
Yeah.
It was Ireland, I think. Or Scotland. Wait.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was Scotland.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if I lived there, I'd want to walk around in a burqa and sunglasses, to keep safe, so they leave you alone.
Yeah.
You want to play Susan or no?
Well, sure. Is it
Good
rewound?
message on this one. A very good message.
And the G7, which was supposed to be the crown jewel of the post-war order, he calls it the G whatever. When Mark Carney is this dismissive of his own institutions, the obituary has already been written. And then watch what the G7 produced this week. A joint declaration pledging to bolster Ukraine's military and tighten the screws on Russia. And yes, Donald Trump signed it. The headlines called it unity. Let me tell you what it really is. It's a bill, and it's not addressed to the United States. Under Donald Trump, the United States is not funding Ukraine. When arms go to Kiev, the Europeans buy them, and the Europeans pay for them, and the Europeans deliver them. So when the G7 pledges to bolster Ukraine's military, what they're really pledging is European money. And the question that nobody seemed to ask at Avian is whether Europe has any left. And it doesn't. And we know that because the empire told on itself just days before the summit. The man in charge of Britain's military, Defense Secretary John Healey, quit. Not over a scandal, but over money. He resigned because his own government refused to fund the British armed forces at the level needed. His armed forces minister walked out the door right behind him. The UK's Parliamentary Defence Committee called it a grave moment. So let that sink in. The empire that lectures the world about defending Ukraine and standing firm against Russia, its defense secretary resigned because Britain can no longer afford to defend itself. And that's who just pledged to arm Kiev. A broke empire, signing a check it can't cash. And that, not the war and not the weapons, is what has Mark Carney terrified. So listen to his real complaint. The line everybody quoted, but almost nobody understood.
The post-Cold War world of rules-based order is breaking down. Multilateral institutions have weakened. Economic integration, from which we have benefited, is being weaponized. The international trading system, which we've relied upon for decades, is under threat.
Breaking down, weakened, disappearing. Look at that. It isn't a list of armies or alliances. It's a list of the economic machinery, the multilateral institutions, the free trade system, the financial architecture. That's a banker's eulogy. And he's reading it because the thing that machinery was built to do, keep nations dependent, indebted, and controlled by the empire, is coming apart. Why? Because Donald Trump is reasserting the American system, the principle that every nation has the right and the duty to build its own economy, its own industry, and its own strength, instead of renting its future from London and Wall Street. That's the rupture that Carney is mourning. The post-war economic system is breaking down because it only worked when the United States submitted to its rules. And Donald Trump is no longer doing that, and he's now enforcing the rules of the American system. So go back to the question I opened with. In what world does the President of the United States hand Hezbollah to a former enemy in Damascus instead of Israel? The same world where he deals with the whole Iranian system instead of bombing it into chaos. And the same world where he lets a bankrupt Europe pay for its own war. Trump is done propping up the empire's proxies, its choke points, and its clients. He's dealing instead with nations on the basis of what they can build and defend on their own. That's why Iran, Syria, and Carney's panic are all the same story. The chessboard gives way to the American system. Carney calls it a rupture, Donald Trump calls it a golden age, and we call it the future.
Bingo. Yeah, and do you see that he's trying to get Syria involved with Hezbollah? I think that's what he's trying to do. Is combining with them, because Lebanon is the ones that were elected in Lebanon want to have nothing to do with Hezbollah at all. But they're a fraction in there that had, because of the Shiites that they are, they're the radical ones. So Trump wants them to fight them, Hezbollah, instead of Israel fighting Hezbollah. So Israel would be out of the picture. But they killed a few of the Israeli soldiers. So that's why they retaliated. But again, Iran comes out about the Straits. So that's gonna. I don't believe this thing that they signed is gonna go as it planned. I think they're gonna break that. That's 14 steps of what, and that's it. That's it.
The memorandum of understanding.
Yeah, memorandum. Yeah, some memorandum.
Was it,
That's
Sean?
what it's called.
You looked so serious when George was talking. George.
No, I'm looking at chat and I'm listening to George and everything. I'm just taking a lot in.
I don't listen to myself.
I was listening to you.
listening
It's
to
hard
you.
to saying Sean looked like he was like just fascinated, listening.
Because of everything.
I didn't know about Syria. I didn't know about
We
Well,
always
yeah,
know
they get the president of Syria, what do you call it, to get involved with Hezbollah to help out Lebanon. I'm pretty sure that's what I remember what I was reading this morning. So they want to get Israel out of the picture with the war with Hezbollah. They want the people from Lebanon to fight Hezbollah. The problem is that there's two Islamic fractions. They got the Sunnis and the Shiites. And the Shiites are the worst ones out of all of them. That they're, the radical ones are. And then they turned around, they threatened that all the sleeper cells will be activated. All right. We're waiting for you. And I think all the DOJ and the FBI should go to all the mosques in the United States and watch every one of these motherfuckers come out of there and check them and see if they're citizens or not. And if they're citizens, and this is the big thing, like that pastor turned around about pledging yourself to this nation of the United States. Nobody should, in Congress or the Senate, nobody should have dual citizenship. Sorry. You know your alliance. What?
Two things in the chat. U.S. Senator says, I 100% agree. Trump needs to just finish the job, especially before midterms. More focus on domestic issues and economy. This deal, this Iran deal, again, it's going to be for 60 days. Where's 60 days put us? We're in June now.
Yeah, to the pigs, yeah, to the voting,
July, August, near the end of August. Now you got, at the end of August, you got September, it's election season. You're not going to, anything that you have to do, you're not going to, it's going to be in people's minds, right? They're just trying to push the cane down the road. I get with Trump, Trump doesn't do things for just the political side of it. He does it because he knows it's the right thing to do. But Iran's trying to
they got to milk it. Yeah, well, they just got to fall. They got, let me, I believe this one thing. I believe Iran is not going to hold shit for 60 days. No way. I don't care what anybody says. They want to take that straight over, and they don't give a shit what. And the whole thing is, our ships
they
are
don't need
still
to do it now. George, that's the thing. They don't need to do it now. Now is wasting energy. Let it go. Let it happen. They're going to think when it gets closer to the end of August, September, then they want to call shit again to jam everything up. So you got, October, November. Obviously beginning of November. So you got September and October, and you're in election season. So,
well, they're not going to work the whole month of August.
We saw. Well, Trump will work, but listen, I go back to what we saw during COVID times. Okay, and I guess it was April. As soon as they started talking about, keeping everybody apart, this is a horrible thing, and then we knew they were going to push drop in mail-in ballot voting. Right, we knew they were going to do ballot dumps with the voting. We knew that in April, well before the election cycle. This is the same thing. We see this happening before the election. I just hope he really has a plan of something, is ready for this, whatever. But I'd hate to see this Iran war alter the path of our elections in the midterms because these last 4 years put us behind so bad with what they did and allowed all these people to come into the country, illegals. Just I don't know.
Look, there's 7 million. There's 7 million of them. There's 7 million of them. What's recorded? Now what's here? Illegals. Look what happened. Look what happened. The thing that was trying to take down the 250 celebration, right? It was an illegal from Mexico. Don't think that had anything to do with the special poverty law group, maybe, or the CIA. They want to take down President Trump. It doesn't matter how they do it. They don't care who they use or whatever. They did the same thing with Kennedy. Yeah. So they ain't gonna, and it's not gonna change at all. The whole thing is, my personal opinion, and I agree with you, Sean, that Trump should have finished the job. He should have wiped them out, and that was the end of that. And then serve the rebuttals from all the politicians. That's what they're worried about. They're worried about the big thing was about the gas. Everybody complained about the gas. So now the gas went down. Now everybody's complaining, oh, Trump sold us out with Iran. They're not stopping what they're supposed to be doing. All that money's wasted. And now you got, and I went on InfoWars website. I says, you're an effing rebel rouser. You don't know what you're talking about. And they keep on talking about all the money that the United States wasted with the war and everything else, with all the bombing and missiles. And this is what the problem is. It's because of these podcasts. They think like Tucker and people defending Tucker and Candace and all the shit.
The American public could give two shits what's going on anywhere. They care about when they pull up to the pump and have to fill up their car, and they care about when they go to the grocery store. That's what they give a shit about.
Well, the diesels went down a lot of money, man. Let me tell you, it was 4 and change. It was up to 6 and change for the diesel trucks.
Wow.
On the highways. Once the straits opened up and the gas started fueling, now it's 3 and change. So I mean, and the diesel fuel went down to 4 and change. And I don't understand that one, because the diesel fuel is easier to make than the gasoline.
Gas prices are wild because they're just all over the place.
Is diesel fuel perhaps taxed differently because of the big trucks on the road? And
I think that's because it's more consumed than the cars are, possibly. Because of the amount of truck trailers that I see.
There's more cars on the road than trucks, I would think.
Yeah, but they don't transport as much as they fill up.
I mean, don't forget what you're using gasoline in. You're using gasoline in boats, cars, trucks, motorcycles. I mean, so I know there's a lot of tractor trailers.
What I'm saying is they produce more gas than they do diesel, but the diesel is less to produce than the gases. You understand? They rather produce gas than the amount of diesel.
You produce gas.
Yeah, I produce gas when I have beans. I'll give you all the gas you want. What was the name of that movie they had?
George, man's question: is your gas considered diesel, high test, plus, or?
Oh, my friend did a movie called The Flaming Fart. My friend did a movie called The Flaming Fart. He went up on his legs with a video and little match when he cut one. And all of a sudden, the flame torture came out. So it is flammable. Don't. That's why they said a lot of people lit up a cigarette while they were farting and they blew up, but that was it.
Yeah. So like I said, two things in the chat. One was that, but the other one is I saw you put no mic today, huh?
No mic today.
Well, he wanted us to keep on going. Do you want to go?
I can't. I got pressing stuff for work, but
yeah, go ahead.
But what he took off?
He went to Yankee camp or something.
No, he went to Yankee game. He went to a Yankee game.
Oh, okay.
He told me it was a Yankee game. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, Yankee camp comes down to Florida.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about Mike.
I just heard game and I wasn't going and I lost it after that.
That's
yeah, but I'm just saying it's I can't believe, and don't forget all the different states. The gas and the fuel are different prices because of the taxes that are charged. Everybody got, we got the federal tax, you got the state tax, and you got the state county tax, the city tax, every tax you can think of. We remember they had those signs up. They used to have the breakdown.
WTF says Sean just needs a sandwich.
Yeah, make him a sandwich.
You go make him a sandwich.
I had a good sausage sandwich yesterday.
Barrel of crude oil.
Oh, I had Coney dogs, and I put it was a natural casing, and I put them in the air fryer. Oh my gosh, did they ever come out good? I never thought about putting those in the air fryer before.
Oh, that's a
good point. Did you see that? What Craig Butley put? From a standard 42-gallon barrel of crude oil, refineries yield about 45% of gasoline, roughly 19 gallons, and 29% of diesel. So, like I'm right, that they out of that barrel, they do less diesel and more gas. The remaining quarter of the barrel is processed into jet fuel and heating oil. Very good point. Thank you very much. So that's why it's more expensive. Because there's less of it. There's more gasoline, but there's less diesel.
Hmm.
So that's a good point. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
Well,
But we have
tried air fries and frozens. Oh,
what happened?
Sin said she tried air fried frozen steaks and they come out great. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, God, Greg, you're awful. He had a Culver's fish sandwich yesterday. So what is the way everybody's torturing me? You had the Culver's fish. Mark sent me pictures from the behind home plate from the Tigers game, but that was because of the Waffles t-shirt on Friday.
When was he at the Tigers game? Yesterday?
Saturday, he sent me pictures from behind home plate and then a video clip. But that was getting even because he knew I couldn't. The game was blacked out for me, so I couldn't watch. So he sent me that, but that was because I put waffles on his T-shirt on the thumbnail Friday.
How about that?
The
thumbnail today looked pretty cool, as they do almost every time. But it was a good one.
Hey, look at this one. It's a nice photo. It's a good shirt somebody had on. I thought this was cool. My dog is a Democrat. Free housing, free health care, free food, and pays 0 taxes.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen some funny shirts too. They have some good shirts on TikTok. When you're scrolling through, they come up.
I got to find my shirt. The one about prequel.
Girls, kids, everybody. I have to run.
Well, be careful. Have a good day.
I got
See you tomorrow.
some stuff for work. All right, I'll talk to you guys. You have a great day.
Okay,
take
bye.
care. Toodaloo.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
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 Ooh, no, it's just 2 people.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, if you want to carry on, carry on. If you don't want to carry on, carry on.
Well, no, you were talking. You had the T-shirt up.
The who?
T-shirt. Hey, I don't know if anybody would be interested, but I got a whole thing about how a med bed works.
Oh, that's very interesting.
You want me to save it for Wormhole?
It's up to you. You're a rules leader.
Maybe I should save it for Wormhole and then do supporting documentation about why it works. Because it explains each way it works, how it can work on your skin and your organs. It's interesting, though.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. Sometimes medbed is when you get people out of your life too. That's good. You know, like we remove people out of your life that.
What do you do? Leave the med bed on too long? Go in there and lock it down.
I was telling you, Trump. Yeah, well, I believe Trump's got one.
Oh, I would believe that 100% too.
I truly believe that. I mean, for what he does and what he does. He is on one thing, then he's on a plane for something else, and then you went to Switzerland, and it's just unbelievable how people bring stuff up. Excuse me, from the past. It's unreal. It's just that we were warned. It's just that we were sleeping about it. We were warned about this whole shit that was going on. But the problem is, we got set up with Obama. Because the white people was thinking, well, we'll make it fair. We'll vote for a black guy, you know, so we're not considered racist.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, and look what happened. Shit hit the fan. Should have figured it was going to happen anyways. Too many people didn't do their homework, but because there was enough talk about Obama before he was elected into office that there was something to do with the CIA and the deep state and everything. If you were into politics real heavy and conspiracy, you would have heard that before all of it happened. I remember some of it, but that was back when they would track you down by IP number and everything. I remember they changed the dialer on my computer in the background. It took me days to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, people are dropping off. I think they're going and doing different things.
Okay, well, then they can. Then we can too. We weren't asked by Mike to hold up the thing. I mean, I don't see any people from Mike coming over there.
No, he just said we didn't know if we'd go a little bit over. We're going a little bit over, but people knew and they're still doing stuff, so it's okay. I know People are asking about, I wish they could leave the chat on all day, but I don't think there's a way of doing that. I really
Oh,
don't.
so people could jump in.
Yeah, so you had it 24/7 open.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. I don't know how I would do it. I think I would have to do it like there was a live show all the time, 24/7. It's like, no, I think I would be weird.
I was looking at this one here. It's like 15 seconds. It's amazing about. There's so much shit in history. It's just unbelievable. But the main thing is we did give more money to Ukraine. That we did. It was all approved by the majority of Democrats and 7 Republicans. 7 Republicans.
Yeah.
Which I thought was the usual. They'll fight for Ukraine, but they don't give a shit what happens in America.
Exactly.
Especially that black-headed racist bitch that is in Congress. You know, when I hate people, I can't.
You talking about Maxine Waters?
No, the bald-headed one.
Oh, Alana
Yeah, that's it. Ilana Bradson. Everybody I hate. I can't remember their names.
Yeah,
Well, Ukraine should have. She bitched about everything else, about the military, but we should give money to Ukraine, she says. So, you know, all that money's coming back. It's all kickbacks to the Democratic Party. They're hurting. Financially, the Democratic Party's hurting. They don't have the money like they did before.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans outdid them with funding and everything else. So, but that's what she does. And it's just unbelievable how. Well, let me see if I can get. I want to do this clip. Hold on a minute. Let me try something here. See if this works. Sorry, tap dancing on the thing here. So I want to get invitation. I'm not going any place. This was interesting. It came across my feed this morning, which I was amazed about. I didn't know about this. But let me shrink you. Let me shrink you again. What's the matter?
I said, oh no, I'm shrinking.
It figures. Hold on, I gotta do the property change here, motherfucker. I'm telling you. And what do you call Facebook still got pieces of shits watching the internet and stuff. This is a great spot in history, which I didn't know. Usually I'm up on this stuff. You know, open this, bring this over. I didn't know about this at all. I was shocked about it. I know how much the Democrats were involved, but
the election massacre took place on Election Day, November 3rd, 1874. Members of the White League, a paramilitary group supporting the Democratic Party, killed an estimated 15 to 40 black Republican voters and wounded 70.
Imagine that. Well, and I looked this up to see if it was fact. It is. But this is how do we lose what we did as Republicans to free the slaves and give them the opportunity to vote and everything else, that they went to the Democratic Party?
Freebies, they're the free shit army.
Well, that's what they did. They controlled them. They controlled them with the drugs and give them free shit. That's what, you know, that's the whole thing. Especially them, and especially the way they they go the baby. They have babies, and then they have their baby daddies. Like they have like 6 or 7 daddies because all the stuff they do. So I don't know.
It's a way to beat the welfare system. So.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's why with the Muslims,
generational. It's not, like a new problem. It's been done since the 60s. LBJ did it.
Did you see that clip with? Did you see that clip about the Muslim guy walking with the bride. That the girl was like maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, and he hugged them and kissed her, and it was a video clip. They're allowed to do that with Sharia law.
Yeah.
That's the problem. See, they're pushing the Sharia law because, in fact, they have 5, 6 wives, and they have all these kids. And then the mothers of these kids go to the welfare department and say, "I can't feed my kids. I have 5 children, and I can't pay the rent, and I can't." And that's how the whole system happens. And then they get all the money. But we still say the what do you call it, has not what do you call prosecuted Omar. Another thing came up about Omar.
You were talking about the black, like what they did with LBJ, giving them all that stuff and everything.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to repeat what he quoted, but it was done on purpose and everything, and now it's become generational. And do you remember Malcolm X? They took him out because he was telling them all, don't fall for the Democrats and everything, that what they were doing and everything. He was dangerous to them. But look what it did since the 60s. So you have, at least 2, almost 3, possibly close to 3 generations of that.
Look at the invitation I just got. On behalf of the White House Task Force 250, you are cordially invited to the upcoming Freedom 250 event to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our nation. Please feel free to forward both below. And it said RSVP, Great American State Kickoff. I can't go. I'm going to be up in New York. Cool. Anyway, sorry, can't make it. Yeah, that's how it goes. The kids just like yeah. I got to do like my granddaughter's graduating, so I got to. Anyway, but that's what. I'm honored getting the invitation, but I just. Morning, Uncle Cracker. A little late for the show, but we could hang out a little bit. Yeah, well, that's why they pushed all the drugs and everything. That's why that like Craig said, they did everything. I got the Obama phone. Remember, woman? I got the Obama phone. I got Obama this. I get Obama that. I got Obama. Yeah, I'll vote for Obama.
Hey, Maureen just said no thumbs down today. So whoever it was that was been giving us the thumbs down has been slacking. We lacked him a couple times last week too.
Oh wow, what happened?
I don't know.
I missed the thumbs down.
Maybe they finally got a life, or they moved.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But as I keep on saying, you got to keep your eye on the ball, boy. Let me tell you, there's so much shit. That stuff. I don't know if I should read that thing.
Little said it's red. She's the thumbs downer because she's not here today.
Good point.
I'm going to tell her that later.
Does anybody want me to read something very interesting?
Yeah, I'm going to text her that later, Little. It's funny. We were blaming it on Sean last week. Today it's red.
I wonder if I should read this.
I don't know if you read it now. You should read it to everybody. To share what you're doing.
Well, I'll just read it. It's a couple of. He was 1 hour away from striking. Then he stopped, not because of diplomacy, not because of pressure, but because timing wasn't right. And it says you don't launch a $4.7 billion military operation and cancel it 60 minutes before impact because someone acts nicely. You cancel it because the sequence isn't complete yet. Listen carefully. And put you on the side. Iran is the last country on earth still selling oil outside the dollar system. The last one. Every other nation has been brought in willing or by force. Iraq, Libya, Syria, Venezuela, all tried to sell oil outside the dollar. All were destroyed. Iran is the final piece of the puzzle. a final piece of the chess play. But this time they don't need to destroy it. They need it to agree, because the new system isn't the dollar. The new system is gold, backed digital, and Iran has to be in it, not destroyed by it. That's why he stopped. The alma mater is still there. The carriers are still positioned. The submarines are still there, circling not as a threat, but as a negotiating tool. Here's what they won't tell you on the news, the fake news. The deal isn't about nuclear weapons. It never was. The deal is about Iran agreeing to the price of its oil in the new currency. The gold-backed quantum settlement system that went live May 8th. Once Iran signs the petrodollar, it's officially dead. Not dying, dead, burying God. This is a little bit for me to swallow on this one. And the 34 trillion in U.S. debt that was built on the petrodollar system, it dies with it. I don't know about this one, but take it for what it's worth. That's your mortgage, your student loan, your credit cards built on the current system that is about to be declared fraudulent by international law. Connect the sequence. May 8th, QFS activated. 209 nations. May 10th, Trump war opening Fort Knox. May 13th, new Fed chairman confirmed. May 16th, old Fed chairman removed. He's still in there, but May 19th, the two executive orders opened parallel financial system. May 20th, Iran strikes canceled 1 hour before impact. 6 moves, 12 days, 1 sequence. The strike was canceled. It was paused. The strike wasn't canceled. It was paused until Iran signs the new agreement. The moment they signed, the petrodollar collapses. The moment is collapsing. Your debt is nullified because it was denominated in a dead currency. You're not watching a war. You're watching the last chess move before the board is flipped. That was put up by the White Hats, if anybody's interested. But it's just a point of information. A lot of it I believe, but a lot of it is a little bit far fetched. So, but maybe it's true. You don't know. Like these podcasts, everybody says like, "Oh, I got sources and I got." The worst one is what's the name? He's getting InfoWars.
Oh, Alex Jones.
Yeah, but they're getting money from someplace. They're getting supplied by someplace. It's not, he sells vitamins and all this other shit, but there's a lot of stuff he deals with. So I don't, funding all this stuff doesn't come easy. So anyway. Oh yeah, China influence, 100% right. Is that the guy they got to get? Everybody says about Soros, but there's that Chinese guy, the guy. What? Yes, the dothead that we made him rich and goes to China and lives there and sends money. But that's what the Secretary of Treasury is trying to do, is go after all these people with the RICO Act, which is going to be wonderful if it happens. So we feel like everybody feels the same way. It's taken too long to prosecute what's supposed to be done. Like we got the perfect example of what happened in Minnesota with Omar and billions of dollars. All of a sudden, she's a fucking magician, and all of a sudden, the money that she had all disappeared. Now she's only 30. Her net worth's only 30,000 from 20 million, 30 million. Obama did pretty good too. He's up to 135 million.
Yeah.
And he's got some studios and stuff, and it must be tough being married to the guy. I think that's why the chef was. I think the chef got killed because he saw a lot of stuff he wasn't supposed to see. In my opinion.
Oh yeah.
He was a good cook. He was cooking up something. Maybe he had an affair with Michelle. Obama caught him.
Could be because Obama showed up on the golf course with bandages on his hand.
Yep. So
yeah, there's something to that story. Usually, if they get bumps or bruises, they tell you.
amazing. It's amazing how easy it was to help take down America. If the founding fathers did all that stuff and everything else, it's unbelievable.
People came too complacent. They just didn't, apathy because you felt you couldn't change anything.
If you think of the founding fathers, they were revolutionaries. they were, doing all the I mean, but they did a big sacrifice. They lost their homes. They were burnt down. A lot of money that was lost and everything else. And their people don't understand the sacrifices that were done. And don't think people should understand that it's not going to be. We're not going to sit back. Things are happening. Trust me. There's a lot of things going on that people don't know, and they're like the back of the woods there and stuff like that. We're not going to give this country up to Islam. That's fact.
Well, are you ready? We'll go.
That's it. Hey, you're my kind of guy there, Craig Mully. Very good. Many don't get the Iran is about to breaking China and London. Yep. But that's why he broke the banking system, Trump. You know how much? What about Lords of London? Right? He destroyed Lords of London. They controlled all the ships going through the straits. It's all a game because they were threatened by Iran. The ships as they were going through, they had to pay a fee to go through. And then it's international waters. They don't own that shit. Is that nobody had the balls to do anything. The European countries, all the stuff that's going through there, they didn't do nothing about it. They just let them do what they wanted to because they were afraid. You don't be afraid. Norman Rockwell era was. Yep, correct. Yep, very good. I like this guy. Craig Motley, he's pretty good. Yeah, I thought I knew everything. Craig, you're doing all right. Good. I got somebody that's backing me. Yeah, that's it. Patriot. Yeah, well, we got into that before. We got that in about the ideology that the socialists tried to do in the late 1800s with the American flag. It's not I got nothing against the American flag. They're very patriotic. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is that they because God was taught so much in the kids' schools, they said, let's create something so it would take something away from not emphasize about God all the time. So they did about the American flag. And they actually did the salute to the flag like the Hitler sign, but upside down. They call it the Bellamy salute. It was called. It was the upside down hand, and they used to do the pledge to the American flag. Well, we could cripple China. Forget about it. We stop all their imports and everything else. And somebody brought up something really cool. A lot of these the ones that at the piers that take up these ship containers and put them on the trucks and everything else. A lot of them are built by China. Don't think they don't track. There's a lot of stuff that we let go that we shouldn't. And it's not because I think President Trump's idea is I think when President Trump went to China, I think he warned them because there's people out of work in China. He got rid of 3 generals because Bing Bang Boo got rid of them because he felt threatened by them because of the people started rebelling. The work ain't going out like it used to. Look all the freight stuff that comes in here. It's all those people working in these factories, and they're sleeping. A couple of factories have closed down. So there's a lot of stuff happening with the green. What's this? With the Queen, 3300 explode. Yeah, no, we can't.
I just zapped it out. We don't do that here.
You can't. Yeah,
we don't do that.
Walk on. But what I'm saying is that there's so much information out there, and it's unbelievable. And you got to get the right information. I trust a lot of stuff that General Flynn says. And I think he was a big advisor to Tulsi. Tulsi Gabbard should get the Medal of Honor. I'm, you know, well, what do you call, what's the award from Medal of Honor for veterans and stuff? The other one. What the hell was that medal? No single bomb dropped. Yeah, well, but the whole thing is we bring the trade. Well, we got the Supreme Court stopped the tariffs and stuff, but you could tariff them to the gills, and they'll be destroyed. China, they can't afford that. You start their exports. We should have factories built back here. There was this. I'm telling you because they did a lot of work done. And there was a thing called by the Gowanus Expressway in Brooklyn. There was a whole bunch of factories along, not far from where the ships used to come in. But they used to export a lot of stuff out. They used to make outlets, bulbs. Remember the bulbs? That's a good wormhole to do about why the incandescents were taken out and put LEDs in. You know?
Yeah.
But all that stuff was made in these things, and who were working in there a lot of time were, minorities and stuff were working in there. White people too, but it was jobs. People had a job at a factory and everything else. The toys were made in Queens, on Jamaica Avenue. They had all the toy factories there. Mattel, Ideal, every one of them were there. And then Clinton is the one that did the export with the toy bullshit. You know, they just killed jobs here, and people said no, they killed jobs. Yes, they did. I saw it. They used to make outlets and everything else. Most of the stuff was coming from China. Everything's China.
Yeah,
China.
Bill Clinton let the World Trade Organization in, and that was like.
Yeah, well, he didn't care.
Nope.
So I believe she will run for president. Oh, who's going to run for president? Oh, Tulsi Gabbard? Yeah, I believe it's a good shot. She'll be up for the challenge. But if she comes back in the administration, I think the deal is going to be Vance and Rubio. Vance is president, then Rubio. Then it'll be Rubio and Vance. We got to keep it for 12 years to straighten out this country, believe it or not. Clinton allowed hospitals to run for profit. Oh yeah, well that's it. Let me tell you something. Everything that was done was to benefit the majority of Democrats. The money they figured out a system that was stealing us blind. Look at what was happening. They're talking about the Somalians' IQ is like 70, 65. So somebody had to teach them how to steal that money. So billions and billions of dollars were stolen. All the Medicare fraud, all that other stuff. And then the schools that they opened up, all that money that was taken, they didn't do that on their own. They had to be taught.
Blue Cross Blue Shield in Minneapolis had classes, and there was somebody took secret video when they were in there.
What about with the COVID shit? The same thing, right? Mm-hmm. If you said a patient died by COVID, the government gave you extra money. It's all about money. You killed the person with those what do you call? They forced them with the air and stuff, right?
They used the respirator things and then remdesivir,
right? And that's what killed a lot of people. And it was planned to eliminate a lot of the elderly people. So it's like they put you on a waiting list on social medicine. If you need a heart bypass, if you're over 75, they're going to give it to a younger guy. They're going to give it to you. You have to wait. So we have availability.
Yeah, they will do that.
Yeah, and Canada's. Let me tell you something. Canada's all fucked up. Oh yeah, China does have vulnerabilities. Yep, big time. That's why and the whole thing is, we have a court that fights against us. Since before 1913, we lived on tariffs. We didn't pay no taxes. They put the taxes in, and the excuse was the World War One. That we had to fund the war and stuff. Is it bullshit?
But well, everything they put in, they never take back.
Yes, all the insurance companies are involved. Yep, 100%. And you know what's funny? I was up in Tallahassee. We brought up a couple hundred bikers, and we parked bikes right on their property in front of Tallahassee because we went to fight against the insurance companies. And they turned. When I walked up, they said, "Oh no," because they know me. But the whole thing is that they made a $20 billion, State Farm made a $20 billion profit. And then he's got the balls to stand up after I spoke that State Farm people are just doing it, getting money back, their insurance rate dropped down. I said, where the fuck where did you come from? And I found out about his name and everything else. He gets paid by all of the insurance companies to stand up to represent them. Because they don't have the balls to come up, but they use lawyers to come up. And then they try to insult you. Yep, for 100 years, that's right. And they took that away. It's all, everything is all about the scuttles, as we say. They got, look what the Europeans did. Italy, I'll give you an example. Italy had liras. Then they went to the European Union, bullshit, the euro. But when Italy had the liras, if you wanted to buy something out of you had to buy a Fiat. You had to buy Italian products. If you bought anything out of Italy to import, you paid a high tariff to bring it in there. That's why Trump is making all these car companies that from these other countries building factories here. You understand? Because it's cheaper to build it here and make money here instead of getting the tariffs put on your products to come over. So that's why all the factories are starting to be built here. And listen, the AI system is going to happen. It doesn't matter. That's going to happen. You're not going to stop it. People think they're going to stop it. You ain't stopping it. Those are what do you call functions for certain things that are going to happen. Yeah, all the insurance companies are involved. Medical insurance, high interest rates are involved. Big thing was, I spoke to a kid the other day. Learn what do you call? Learn to be an electrician, welder, plumber. Don't go to college. Waste 4 years. You'll make more money. They got electricians making $200,000 a year. Are you kidding me? What are you going to do? Spend 4 years in college and come out, got a degree, ain't doing shit? Yep. Oh yeah, the Titanic was a good part. That's why J.P. Morgan didn't go on the ship. Yeah. Yeah. So don't forget we're a corporation. Washington D.C. is a corporation. So, all right, you want to say hasta luego?
Yes, hasta luego. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for the information, Craig. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I see Greg in shorts. He's a shortsite. I see him over there a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gives us a lot. It's good to have other people that talk about what's going on. Bye. I say bye. You want to say bye? I'll hang up right now.
Yeah, well, I'm ending the stream.
Okay, end the stream. Bye, everybody. Thanks for staying.